Hi everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT and welcome to the first FM22 Wonderkid video on the channel. I'm very excited, I bet you guys are too, so let's get right into it. Okay everybody, we've got plenty of Wonderkids to cram into this video, so I won't waste any more of your time. We're going to be looking at 20 Wonderkids that you can sign for under 30 million, all of which have the potential to be good enough that they can easily make up for the money that you invest into them. If you do enjoy this kind of content, we're going to have plenty of these videos on the FMSCOUT channel, so hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and while you're at it, don't forget to like the video. It will push this video out to more people, and more people can see these amazing Wonderkids. Drop a comment down below which of these you're going to be signing, and let's get right into it. Okay guys, the first Wonderkid we're looking at is the hardest one to pronounce in the list, so I'm just going to try and get it out of the way. Kavi Kochavak. He is a Georgian international. Apologies if I've pronounced that wrong, I've done my best, I've watched YouTube videos on how to pronounce it, but I unfortunately can't learn a million languages for one video. But looking at this guy, what a Wonderkid to start off with. I'm not going to spend too long on each player, but you can sign this guy for around £10 million. He plays for Rubin Kazan out in Russia. This guy is insane. He's a bit older than some of the others, so his attributes have developed a bit more than some of the others might, so he might look like one of the better players on paper, and I mean, he is very good. He's got some amazing player traits, good physical attributes that still need a bit of improvement, but that's your guy's job. Good mentally, and he is very good going forward. He'd be a perfect inside forward or inverted winger on that left hand side. If you want one for your club, get your hands on him quick before Borussia Dortmund steal him from under your nose. We all love a bargain Wonderkid in FM, and the second player on this list is definitely one of them. Playing for Dynamo Dresden out in Germany, they're actually in the Bundesliga 2. So you can actually get him for a bit of a snip price that you probably have to pay for him if he played for a bigger team. His name is Ransford Yeboah Königsdorfer. Again, another hard name to pronounce. I'm getting them all out of the way at the start. He is brilliant in terms of being an advanced forward. That striker position, he has got great technical attributes for it already. On top of that, he's pretty quick and he's only going to develop as he gets a little bit older. And his mentals have a good base set too that you can develop off of. But if you were a mid-table club in one of the top 5 divisions, I think this guy would be perfect for you and will develop into one of the best strikers in the world. Okay, player number 3 in the list now, and before we talk about him, I'd just like to let you guys know, if you want to, you can check my channel, linked in the description. We're going to have a Newcastle save on there pretty much as soon as FM22 starts, so if it's not on there already, it will be soon. So if you want to come over and subscribe and watch a Newcastle save, it would really mean a lot to me and would really help me out. But yes, we are here with the third Wonderkid, and it is Nicolo Rivas, playing for RB Salzburg out in Austria. Now, this team's going to appear a few times in this list. They previously had Erling Haaland. They have plenty of Wonderkids this year in FM. In terms of all-round central midfielders, this guy's got the lot, perfect physically really for the position you're looking at, and he's got time to develop too. Again, mentals are very, very good. And not only is he a great passer of the ball, he's also a great tackler. He'd be a great box-to-box midfielder, and he is a perfect choice for your midfield at the start of your save. Okay, now we're looking at one of the few players on this list who can be approached to sign at the start of your save, so get your hands on him quick if you want to sign him. Basically, he's on a youth contract, so he can go up. You click approach to sign, you'll have to pay his wages of course and pay a bit of compensation to the club that's losing him, but you get a player for a snip of a transfer fee that you might usually pay for him. Now, Babadi here is playing for PSV, the Dutch international. Doesn't look like the complete package yet, but he is only 16 years old. Trust me, he has plenty of potential and he's got some good starting attributes to build up off. Although he's not going to be a towering physical presence in your midfield unless this changes in other saves, I don't know, but in this save he's 5'3" with 1 strength. Probably not his strong suit, but he does look very good technically and you can develop those areas of course. So if you want to get an approach to signing, save yourself a bit of money, Babadi could be the one. A fan favourite of last year, Tanguy Ndombele, has made the Wonderkid list yet again. This guy at Bayern Munich is, I think, a bargain for the price you can get him for. Around £12 million, Bayern are asking for him here. He is brilliant physically already at 19 years of age, the French international. He's also brilliant mentally, and I mean, I'm going to say it again, he's brilliant technically. What more do you want from a centre-back at his age? 6'2", he's got a player trait of bringing the ball out of defence. Being a good passer as well, he makes the perfect ball-playing defender. If you're starting a save, you're lacking at centre-back, pick this guy up. He might be fairly pricey at £10 million, but he'll sort your defence out for years to come. Quarter of a way through the list now, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Don't forget to like the video if you are and comment down below which of these players you would like to sign in your saves. And I told you we'd be back at Red Bull Salzburg out in Austria again, and we are. They now have another great Wonderkid striker in the Slovenian Benjamin Cesco, and we're not done here by the way, we do come back later on for another player. This guy is a different kind of striker to what many people would use in Football Manager, just because he is 6'3" and he might not be the world's quickest player, don't get me wrong, he is quick. But he also has some good strength and some attributes that could be seen as target striker attributes, and I think he's actually a mould of many different roles as a striker, so you could maybe use him in whatever role you'd like. But great physically, great mentally, maybe a bit of work needed technically, but you can get him there. He's only 18 years of age, the Slovenian, already had 2 caps for the national team for £10 million. could be a bargain pickup up front for your sides. Sporting out in the Portuguese divisions have been producing wonderkid after wonderkid. I mean, Ronaldo was one. They brought in Nuno Mendes the other year, who was a fan favourite left back. They've now got another player who can go on to be a great player in your FM saves. I know he doesn't look completely perfect right now, but do check his age. It's Dario Asuaga. As you can see by his value here, it could be anywhere between pretty much nothing to £5 million. I still think even if you had to pay the higher end of that, you're still getting a bargain. He's got some great traits already, really good physical attributes, and I mean really good for a 16-year-old. Yes, maybe not the best technically and mentally, but you can improve them things. He's only 16, stick him in your youth academy. Maybe in a few years you've got a made-to-play central midfielder who, with the physical attributes he has, might dominate your midfield for years to come. Okay, a wonderkid of last year who I never actually signed, but he does look very good this year, probably even better than he did last year, and interestingly, his value is really surprising. Looking at this, you'd think Real Madrid, left back with some good starting attributes, should cost a lot. This is David Della Vobora that we're talking about, by the way. Butchered his name again, but this guy you can sign for under £1 million, and if you ask the agent, they'll give you the same valuation. I assume it's because his contract is running low at Real Madrid, but I mean, if you sign this guy, for some teams, he would be a guaranteed starting left back already, but if you're maybe a top division club, he's someone who in the future will definitely get to that level, might need a bit of development, but I mean some great starting attributes for a left back wonderkids, right back wonderkids are usually hard to come by, so under £1 million for this guy, bring it on. Okay, our final Salzburg player of the list is Karim Adiemi. He was a brilliant player last year. He is yet again. His finishing is low. I don't know whether that's just in this save I've loaded up here. If it is that in most saves, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world because he is so quick. And if physical attributes are as important as they were in the last match engine, his pace could be all you need. This guy has done wonders for me in plenty of FM21 saves, so hopefully it'll be no different than FM22. Physicals, they never need to improve again. They are perfect, but they are going to improve, so win-win. Mentals are also pretty strong. If you can train him to run in behind, he could be very lethal for you. Yes, not the best finisher, but we've seen plenty of times in FM, you might not need the best finishing attributes to actually score a lot of goals. And for around £15 million, again, the owners of RB Salzburg are going to be loving that I'm telling you guys to line their pockets, but I mean, when they've got quality like this, you've got to pick it up. Maybe the most bought wonderkid of FM21 is back on FM22 with a massive improvement in both his potential ability rating and also his starting attributes. It is Gavi, but that also comes along with the fact that unfortunately you can't pick it up for £350,000 anymore. You'll be looking at around £18 million to £15 million for Gavi, who in real life I believe has started appearing for Spain, so he's definitely going to go far. He's 16 years of age, born in 2004, which makes me feel a bit sick, but if you go into his attributes, he is insane. I mean, mentally, he is standout. I don't think you'll see many better sets of mental attributes in a wonderkid at the age of 16 ever in Football Manager. Physically, also pretty good, might need a bit of work in the strength department, but he's not that kind of player. I think his physicals are fine and will develop, of course. He's got some good player traits, but I think the best thing about him is, of course, his technicals. Look how good they are for a player of his age. He is going to grow into one of the best playmaker midfielders in the world if you use him right. Gavi, £15 million. It's not 350,000, but it's still a snip. Pick him up in your saves, and I think he will absolutely rock your midfield world. Okay, this player is quite an interesting one. We're looking at Balogan of Arsenal. Now, he has been in the game for quite a few years and never seems to get that good, but he has got pretty good potential in this year's Football Manager. On top of that, because he's a bit older than some of the other players in this list, he already starts off as a very good player. He has got a long-term deal at Arsenal, which means his value is a bit inflated, around £18 million. You can loan him pretty much straight away, though. He's been listed for loan, but I think even for 18 million, you're getting a very good striker here who, after a couple of years of development, if you're looking at 15 finishing, 16 pace, that kind of thing, you're going to be looking at a very good striker. I think Balogan might not be everyone's first pick, but he could be someone that you go for in your saves if all the other strikers have been bought, or if you just want to try something different. Okay, we are now halfway through the list, guys. Hopefully you are enjoying. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more FM content like this. There's going to be plenty of Wonderkid lists on the way, and don't forget, if you want to, check out the link to my channel to watch the Newcastle save. For the next player we're looking at, though, we are looking at Bilbao's Nico Williams. Two Nicos that we're going to look at playing for Bilbao. This guy playing on the right side, 18-year-old Spanish international, left footer as well, so you're going to look for him to cut him with that left foot, inside forward, inverted winger. Would be perfect for him. At 18, maybe not the best starting attributes in the world, although I would argue if his physical is improved, he could make a very good winger, so in time, he definitely will get there. He's got plenty of potential, good mental attributes to build upon, particularly that determination, and then some very good technicals to work with there too. For £20 million, maybe a bit steep straight away for a player like this, but he's definitely one to keep your eye on. And if you want to improve that position with this player, go for it. And like any player in this list, whether they're bargains or cost a little bit more, I think at full development, you're easily going to double or even triple your money here. So Nico Williams plays for Bilbao. If you want to check him out while you're there, you may as well check this guy out too. And that is of course Nico Serrano, plays in a similar position, similar age, even has the same first name. He was a fan favourite in FM21 and I think he will be again. His price is pretty much the same of his Bilbao counterpart. He's got decent physicals but again could improve, particularly in some of the ones that aren't highlighted here. But hey, if they're not highlighted, they're probably not overly important to the role that you'd likely play him in, and that would likely be inside forward or inverted winger. Again, good technically, maybe not as good mentally and might need a bit of work. Which one are you going to pick out of the two Nicos? Let me know, but let's move on to the next player in our list. Okay, I love this guy's name. We are looking at Anthony Malambo, much like the other Eredivisie player we looked at in this list. This guy can be approached to sign too. He is an attacking midfielder, one of the first few we've looked at today. He's out playing for Feyenoord, and while he isn't stand out in any area, you've got to remember looking at these attributes, much like when we looked at the player playing for Sporting, he's very young. I mean, he's got plenty of room to develop. Physically is probably where he needs his most work. Mentally isn't bad, and technically isn't bad either. Plenty of potential. Approach to sign him, put him in your youth team, forget about him, and I think you'll have a Wonderkid superstar pop up once he's fully developed. So add him to your shortlist, keep an eye on him, and try and pick him up for your guys' sides. Okay, not many players left in this list now, and I think I can see why Real Madrid were looking to let David de la Vobora go, and it's because they've got an even better player in Miguel Rodriguez. He's a year older, his attributes are a little bit better too, physically very good, mentally exceptional, and technically also pretty good. The fact that he's so good at crossing suggests to me he's definitely going to be an attacking fullback, and Football Manager is suggesting that to you too in his role. He plays for Real Madrid's B team. It won't be long though, I'm sure, until he gets promoted into their first team. Got a fairly long contract left, so you are going to be looking to pay anywhere above £20 million, around 25 million I would expect. But if you do sign this player, now that Nuno Mendes is at PSG and is likely going to be hard to get hold of, you might have one of the best Wonderkid left backs in the game. The fact that even without much development he could be a top player goes to show that when he does eventually develop, you are going to have one of the best left backs on your hand. Definitely pick this guy up if you've got the funds to, and your left back position is sorted. Well, he's back for another year. Yusuf Demir, despite the fact that he has gone on loan to Barcelona. We know about their financial issues, but that doesn't stop you from going over their heads and buying him from Rapid Vienna. According to the game, we can sign him for anywhere around £12 million. If we ask the agent, we're keen on signing him. There you go, £10.5 million to £13.5 million. If he played for a club in the top 5 leagues permanently and not just on loan, you'd be looking at a lot more for this guy. The 18-year-old Austrian Yusuf Demir. We're just very lucky that he plays for Rapid Vienna because it means that we can pick him up for fairly cheap. So go to the Austrian divisions, pick him up. Physically superb. You can play him anywhere across that front line in the midfield. Right wing, left wing, or central attacking midfielder. You've got a great player, not just good physically, great mentally, and very good technically too. Definitely worth a £13 million investment no matter what level your club is at. If you can get hold of him, make the bid, put him in your team, you'll be sorted for years to come. Trust me, get this guy. Okay, final 4 players left in today's list, and this is another one that might not look super impressive straight away. We're looking at Jaden Adai. He plays for AZ Alkmaar out in the Eredivisie, but much like some of the other young players we looked at, his attributes haven't fully formed yet. But this guy's only 15. Another one that you can approach to sign straight away, but the fact that he can have 5 years of development and still be potentially classed as a Wonderkid because he'd be under the age of 21, it goes to show there's plenty of room for this guy to grow. I'm not going to sit here and say that his attributes look amazing yet because they don't, but he can definitely develop over time into a top talent, and you can see that by the fact that he is so young and he is already starting off with some fairly decent attributes, I'll say that at least. And now we move on to the final 3 players in today's list. And we are looking at another approach to sign 15-year-old, this time out in Brazil. By the way, if you don't see some of these players in your saves, the chances are that you haven't got that certain league loaded or that part of your database loaded. I'm sure I'm going to get plenty of comments about that, but if you can't see the players, that is likely why. But we are out here in Brazil with FLA, as they are known, with the standard licensing in Football Manager, and we are looking at Matias Goncalves, another 15-year-old. Approach to sign him, stick him in your youth team. You might end up seeing him develop into a top player, but I think he actually looks slightly better than the last guy we just looked at. I mean, physically, he's got some decent attributes to start with. Mentally, his flair is cool, but his determination is super low. I hope that's just because it's in this save, and in other saves it can fluctuate, because that can happen with players. But Matias has started with a great set of attributes, and if that determination was a bit higher, you'd be looking at a very good 15-year-old Wonderkid. Hopefully that isn't the same in every save. Do let me know if you know the answer to that in the description. But given the right development, I think this guy could be one of the best tricky wingers in the world if you do it right. So at 15 years of age, plenty of room to develop. Pick him up if you can, and we are down to our final 2 in today's list. Okay, one more trip to the Netherlands, and we are here with Yuri Timber playing for Ajax in the Eredivisie. Now this guy can be signed from anywhere between 17.5 and around £26 million. Great physically for a right back, great mentally, and he's got some good technical attributes too. He's not going to be flying forward and putting crosses in, I can't imagine. Definitely more of a defensive player, and that is why he can also play centre back and left back if you needed him to. He can play in a variety of positions along the back line, and I think that versatility makes him very, very important in your guys' saves. Probably one of the best that you can sign in FM22. If you've seen this guy in real life, you'll know that he looks very, very good for his age. So Yuri Timber was a second to last player in this list. And our final player is Nicolo Rivas. This guy is playing for Genoa on loan from Juventus, and as you can see, his transfer value is between 22 and 33 million pounds. That is why I've left him till last, because he might not technically qualify for the under 30 million pound bracket, but providing you negotiate it right, you should get it under 30 million pounds. And I think you'd be looking at having one of the best central midfielders in the world after a couple of years. I mean, he starts off with some very good attributes. It's no surprise Juventus don't really want to sell him straight away. He's got some great player traits, and I think he'd make a perfect box-to-box midfielder with that tackling and passing range, so definitely try and pick him up. I mean, his mentals are impeccable. He was a fan favourite in FM21, and I'm sure he will be in FM22 too, but there you go, FM22 too, that sounds funny, but there we are, guys. That is the last player in today's list. It's the first FM22 video I've made on FMSCOUT. There's going to be plenty more lists to come. If you did enjoy it, let us know down in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, feel free to check out my channel linked in the description. Thank you guys for watching, thanks for all the support, and there's plenty more to come on the channel, so I'll see you then.